We're here with Michael Studman from Atlassian tonight at the Counting House in London. So, hello.
Hello.
Who are you?
Hi. Well, as you said, I'm from Atlassian. I'm a developer at Atlassian. I work on Clover, which is Atlassian's code coverage and test optimization or selective testing tool. I've been with the company for about 2.5 years. I originally worked for Senko, which was bought by Atlassian. We did Fisheye, Crucible, and Clover. And yeah, I'm based in London. I'm Atlassian's only London-based developer. Yeah.
Cool. So, you've been working on Clover. So, you know, you've just released a new product, and you're here from weeks of being head down coding. So, what's going on? What have you done?
Well, we released a new version of Clover, 2.5. It builds on the good work we did in 2.4, which is previous to 2.4, Clover was sort of code coverage on steroids. And we've kind of leveraged a lot of the intelligence we have in Clover about the relationship between your tests and your code, and we created something we call test optimization, which in the community, the phrase selective testing is also used. And it's about speeding up your build, speeding up your continuous integration feedback cycle by selectively running tests. So that was 2.4, and that was just working on unit tests. In 2.5, we've expanded that so that we encompass functional tests. So if you have your tests running against web apps and different JVMs, we can optimize those as well, which from some of our own case studies we've seen functional tests are the ones that take a lot of our time, and unit testing on the other.
Functional tests can be the devil incarnate. So,
yeah.
Are you able to talk about how you did that? Or
sure.
Yeah.
Well, basically, you know, Clover kind of gets in there, instruments your code, and puts special instructions in there so that we know which code is covered, what the coverage of the code is, and also where your tests start and end. With pushing that out into multiple JVMs, we've got that coverage information, or that coverage intelligence, sort of talking across JVMs to work out which tests, when a test is started and what's happening in that foreign JVM over there, and then when a test is ended, we kind of work out what coverage is happening over there, and then we use that data for the next CI build cycle to work out which tests should be run based on a given source change.
okay, so there's some projects that I worked on I would have killed for that functionality there. As you watch functional tests just run and run for half an hour or an hour just to find out that everything's going swimmingly and you haven't uncovered any defects at all. So I'm guessing that's a reasonably compelling sort of argument for not running Emma and Checkstyle and the usual kind of open source tools that, or maybe Sona for doing this. Do you think there's enough reason to do it?
Well, I think I think Clover's benefits kind of fall into two categories. We've got the traditional code coverage. Now, you've got the existing tools out there, like open source tools, which are, do the job very well. Like Emma and Covertura, they do standard code coverage very well. I think Clover builds on that. We give code coverage information on steroids. We take that and we, for instance, the way Clover looks at code coverage, not all code coverage is equal. For instance, a lack of coverage in a really complex method is more, or a class is more important to a project than a lack of coverage in gettable setters. So one example is Clover will track the cyclomatic complexity of your code and match that against the coverage, and will then point out which parts of your code are complex and that coverage, and you should probably look at those first.
So it's as if you had Emma and Checkstyle and they were talking to one another, and then Checkstyle was giving Emma a nudge and saying, look at that over there. Right.
So it's kind of building some intelligence into code coverage. It's not co-coverage. We think is not just about which lines are covered, what's the percentage of this class. It's about understanding why something is covered, understanding the relevance of coverage, and presenting that to the user, so that when they go to write more unit tests, their decisions are informed ones. They have some knowledge about which way they should go.
All right, very interesting. So, with my build manager kind of CI guy hat on, I'm guessing I know the answer to this already, but sort of why would I use this if I were, say, responsible for a continuous integration build and perhaps being beaten up about the time of my build?
Yes.
It's not a leading question at all, Your Honour.
So if we look at, say, Confluence, we just posted a blog on blogs.atlassian.com, which kind of details what we went through with Confluence. Now, if you look at Confluence, it takes, we have, I think, 55 build plans, and it would take about 2 days to run all of those. Now, even with Bamboo's builds in the Elastic Cloud, we call it Elastic Bamboo, it's farming built out to the cloud. Even with that, we can get that build time down to about 2 hours. And if we just look at, say, Confluence's unit tests and functional tests, they take about 40 minutes. Now, 40 minutes in the middle of the day when developers are checking in code is a long time. It's 40 minutes until you know if your build has succeeded or failed. And then if it has failed, it takes another 40 minutes to know whether you've fixed it. In that time, other people might have checked in code. So if your build fails again, then you have this witch hunt where who broke the build. So with Clover's test optimization, we bring the time it takes to run your build and run your tests right down, because we just run what's necessary for the last check-in. So you get really quick feedback, and because it's really quick, it's normally just related to the user who made the change. And in the case of the Confluence, when we applied this to Confluence, we found our builds were taking 1/7 the time of what they were previously.
Right. Great. Very compelling. So, who were you kind of targeting for this release then? I mean, who is your perfect customer for this product? Are we talking? I'm guessing we're talking legacy products might like you. Someone with an abysmal CI build that takes 2 hours. Would they be liking Clover for that?
I think they will. Anybody who feels the pain of a long build and having to wait that 20, 30, 40 minutes, an hour until you get that feedback, they're the sort of people who will want to have a look at Clover's test optimization. And if you're running functional tests that take a long time, definitely Clover.
Great. Cool. So the last question, really, how much dog food do the Atlassian guys eat? You've got quite a comprehensive suite now. You've got Fisheye, Clover, Bamboo, Confluence. I mean, are you using all those products in your day-to-day developer life?
Yes, we are. We very aggressively eat our own dog food. Sometimes it's a pain, but I think sometimes it does get in the way of our day-to-day work. But we are committed to, and we know that eating our own dog food will make our products better. Because if we don't use them, I mean, we are our target customer in many respects. So if we're not using them, then we don't really know who we're building for.
Right.
And I think we've seen some real benefits from doing it, and some pain, but it just comes with the territory, I think.
But rather you than your customers. So
exactly. Yeah.
Very enough. Well, thanks for coming to up to talk to us, and
thank you.
We're going to drink some wheat beer now. So thank you.
Cheers.